Windhoek, July 9th. Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in Windhoek, the capital of Namibia, on Wednesday, marking his first official visit to the southern African nation. He was received at the airport by Ms. Selma Ashipla-Muzevi, Namibia's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation. The visit underscores India's commitment to deepening its long-standing and friendly ties with Namibia. PM Modi posted on X, following his arrival in Namibia. Landed in Windhoek a short while ago. Namibia is a valued and trusted African partner with whom we seek to boost bilateral cooperation. Looking forward to meeting President Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah and addressing the Namibian parliament today, he wrote. During his visit, Prime Minister Modi will hold talks with President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah and also address a joint session of the Parliament of Namibia. The two leaders are expected to discuss a wide range of bilateral issues, focusing on strengthening cooperation in areas such as energy, healthcare, digital infrastructure, education, and capacity building. An official statement highlighted the deep-rooted ties between the two nations, dating back to Namibia's struggle for independence. India was among the first countries to raise the issue of Namibian independence at the United Nations in 1946 and supported SWAPO, the liberation movement that eventually led Namibia to freedom. In 1986, the first SWAPO embassy abroad was set up in New Delhi. India also played a key role during Namibia's transition to independence. Lieutenant General Dewan Prem Chand of the Indian Army led the UN peacekeeping force, UNTAG, that oversaw the electoral process in 1989–90. Diplomatic ties were formalized post-independence, with India setting up its High Commission in Windhoek in 1990, followed by Namibia establishing its mission in New Delhi in 1994. India's development partnership with Namibia includes significant humanitarian and infrastructure support. This includes donations of COVID-19 vaccines, food aid during droughts, and assistance in setting up educational and healthcare institutions. The India-Namibia Center of Excellence in IT at NUST and the India Wing at the University of Namibia's Ongwedoa campus are symbols of this enduring collaboration.
जहां एक तरफ वैश्विक चुनौतियों और विश्व की कुछ बड़ी समस्याओं के समाधान और उनके हल की दिशा में भी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की नामीबिया यात्रा को देखा जा रहा है। भारत के नामीबिया से संबंध आज़ादी से भी पहले के हैं। 1946 में दोनों देशों के बीच राजनयिक संबंध स्थापित हो गए थे। तब नामीबिया दक्षिण पश्चिम अफ्रीका था और अपने उन संघर्ष के दिनों में भी भारत ने संयुक्त राष्ट्र में नामीबिया की आज़ादी का मुद्दा उठाया था। 1990 में नामीबिया के आज़ाद होने के बाद भारत ने वहां अपना उच्चायोग की स्थापना की और नामीबिया ने 1994 में भारत में अपना उच्चायोग स्थापित किया। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की
Brasilia. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a warm ceremonial welcome in Brasilia on Tuesday, becoming the first Indian PM in 57 years to undertake a state visit to Brazil, strengthening the ties between the two nations. The visit marks not only expansion of India on the diplomatic front, but also a reaffirmation of India as a proactive builder of South-South solitude. Inclusive growth, critical mineral resource security, climate resilience, and digital collaboration are the concerns of India with the Global South. The visit is a mark of change in India global role-play, investing in proactive activities as opposed to a reactive role based on mutual respect and common interest. It is not service outreach tour, but a symbol of a more serious strategic tilt in India foreign policy, in which it has to match up to the interests of emerging economies. With the new geopolitical fault lines coming into the picture, the Indian dream of a fair world order is not only talked of, but also materializing in the form of long-lasting and concrete partnerships. At a time when soft power, strategic autonomy, and shared resilience characterize the global leadership in general, this tour does not only present India as one of the acting parties, but as a core actor in creating the future of the global South. As part of his official engagements during the visit, Prime Minister Modi and Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva exchanged warm diplomatic courtesies at the Alvorada Palace, where they introduced delegates from their respective countries to one another. The meeting at Alvorada Palace came as part of PM Modi's state visit to Brazil, undertaken at the invitation of President Lula da Silva after the conclusion of the BRICS summit held in Rio de Janeiro from July 6th to 7th. To mark the occasion, Prime Minister Modi was accorded a grand ceremonial welcome at the Alvorada Palace. President Lula da Silva received him with a warm embrace, setting the tone for a day of significant diplomatic engagements and symbolic gestures. The ceremonial reception featured formal introductions of delegates by both leaders, underscoring the spirit of cooperation and mutual respect between the two nations. Adding to the grandeur of the ceremony, PM Modi was honored with a 114-horse Guard of Honor. The national anthems of India and Brazil were played, and an Indian classical musical performance was also held as part of the welcome. Earlier, upon his arrival at the Brasilia airport, PM Modi was greeted by the Batala Mundo Band with traditional Afro-Brazilian compositions, creating an upbeat cultural atmosphere at the outset of his visit. Sharing the moment on social media platform X, he wrote, "At Brasilia Airport, the Batala Mundo Band played some wonderful compositions. Theirs is a global effort to promote Afro-Brazilian percussion, in particular the samba reggae from Salvador de Bahia, Brazil." Members of the Indian diaspora, waving flags and cheering, were also present at the airport to greet the Prime Minister. Acknowledging their presence, PM Modi posted, "Landed in Brasilia a short while ago." The Indian community accorded a memorable welcome, once again highlighting how passionate our diaspora is and how connected they remain with their roots. The cultural spirit continued at the hotel, where PM Modi was welcomed again by members of the Indian community and local performers. He witnessed a cultural performance and a spiritual presentation, interacting with the artists and posing for a group photograph with them. During the state visit, Prime Minister Modi is scheduled to hold bilateral discussions with President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, aimed at strengthening the strategic partnership between India and Brazil. According to the Ministry of External Affairs, the talks will cover a broad range of areas including trade, defense, energy, space, technology, agriculture, health, and people-to-people linkages. India is also contributing to reposition the Global South not as a group of aid recipients, but as participants in the co-authorship of the global solutions. The tour symbolizes that India is a bridge builder, giving the Global South a larger say in the formulation of the international order. Following the conclusion of his engagements in Brazil, PM Modi will depart for Namibia on July 9th, where he is expected to address the Namibian parliament. The Brazil leg marks the fourth stop in his ongoing five-nation tour, which has already taken him to Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago, and Argentina, reflecting India's increasing diplomatic outreach across the Global South.